time, or you just need to set a big stage picture and then go into some kind of a lesson and put it into context for all of Scripture. And so, again, this one is called AMPEC. I'm not going to go into extreme detail because you guys all know the basis, but first we have creation. The Lord has created us in His image, perfect world, meant to be in relationship with Him, co-rulers, have dominion over the earth, the whole thing. But then we had the fall, and at the fall, we severed and we broke, and sin entered in, and everything was affected by the fall, and everything was broken. But by God's grace, even in our curses, in Genesis 3:15, like we all know, is the proto-evangelium, where it's the promise of that even though we have completely messed this up and severed our relationship with God, there's one that is coming. There's one who will come, and even though the serpent will bite his heel, he will crush his head. And so from then, henceforth, so this is, Genesis, you've got 1 to 3. And then at that point, the storyline of the Old Testament is one of anticipation. We're anticipating a Messiah, and this would probably fall under those that are like the Christocentric ones. So if we're doing AMPEC, anticipation. We are anticipating the arrival of one who will finally make it well. So we have prophets coming. God is sending one after another, saying there is a better one, a better Abel, a better Job, a better whoever coming, who will make things right, who will restore us to Himself. And so this is all of the Old Testament pointing to a Messiah, the anticipation. And then in the Gospels, we have the manifestation. In the manifestation, that's Matthew through John. That's where Jesus comes. God made flesh, born among us. He lived the life that we couldn't live, and He died the death that we deserve to live. And so He, the one that we've been anticipating, will make things right. He came in the flesh and died in our place, paying, our place in the wrath, taking the wrath of God upon Himself. And that's the manifestation. Anticipation, manifestation. And then after, I'm sorry, I'm just a little nervous. Manifestation, and then coming from the cross and continuing to kind of break down the Bible, we have explanation. And that would be, it's Romans through, AMPEC. Sorry, we jumped ahead. First, we have to have the proclamation. And so, of course, the book of Acts is the proclamation of the one that we've been anticipating, of Jesus the Messiah. So when it all broke, there was a promise that one is coming. We've been anticipating Him all along. He came, He was manifested, and then the proclamation would be that of the church going out, proclaiming who this Messiah is, the one who is restoring and making all things right. And then for the next books of the Bible, we have explanation, and that's now Romans through Jude. And these are, it was phrased differently in other books, but explanation is where, who this Jesus is. What does this look like? What does life in Him look like? How is this new community of believers supposed to live and act? And then ultimately in the book of Revelation, we have the consummation, where all things are restored and finally made right, which if we're going for the circle diagram, you can go back up to it's back in that restoration of relationship. And so if we have to, those kind of 5 points are anticipation, manifestation, proclamation, explanation, and consummation. Quick, easy way to break down the whole categories of Scripture, looking to with a Christ-centered focus.